Hi guys, it's Jake from Slay Gaming. Basically, I'm just bringing you a update on one of my recent Malifaux crews that I'm in the middle of constructing. Well, not constructing anymore, painting should I say. So, this is Pandora. So, as you see, Miss Pandora here. Nice base structure and whatnot. Although I might have to change that a little bit because it's a little bit wonky, so I might have to cut it down. So this is it basically. Until I decide to add a couple more things to it. I've got two more things on the construction, which is two more depleted. So this is them. Went for a cave look on this guy, or woman should I say. So basically laser cork built up with a couple of tufts, foliage, swamp like looking things, as a swamp was the sort of effect I wanted to go for at the moment for this crew. Because, you know, Pandora's box, just sort of as soon as I seen Pandora crew, I thought, right, I've got to do a swamp base on it. So, start with basics. So, obviously, we have the master, Pandora. So, bit of the vibrant greens, red hair, pink highlights in the hair, as you would do. That's the best colour to highlight red with. We've got a goldish box with green flames popping out, and just foliage bumped up on the what we call now, banisters, I'd call them. And got a henchman, Cade, so basically a little girl with basically a basket of treats. And sort of like, I wanted to try something really different on this crew, so just went really way out on it, because I personally think the best way for a model to stand out is if you have a really nice looking base. But you've got to also, when making the bases, you've got to obviously make your model look light and bright for that to stand out as well. So for Cade, I went for basically a greyish blue looking dress with I don't know what they're called, to be honest with you, like white collar basically, then little red bows, and obviously you have a red bow at the back, and again a bit of clump foliage at the top. It's like moss effects and tufts, and down here a bit of a rotting type of colour, so your basic sort of swampish looking thing, then with a bit of blood here and there. And go to Pandora's peon, which is the Poltergeist. So I went for green looking ghostly effect on here, dark green, then went highlight with the green, then went for a whitish looking rotting colour, so to speak. So the old rotting flesh from Games Workshop, I do believe, which I do believe now is called Nurgling Green. So did a Nurgling Green, then a mud wash, then to a white highlight, then went for a really darkish green look on the hair and blood in the mouth, because it's a scary looking ghost basically. So then obviously round here we have, again with the rot, which is the Games Workshop Technical Paint Nurgle's rot, then like an intestine sort of looking thing, or a bloodworm. So I painted that obviously in blood for the blood god. I even did its eyes. So I get pestered a lot by some of the local gamers because I don't paint eyes. So I thought I'd give it a go with this guy. So obviously he's got a black, obviously inside eye, then a really like demonic looking yellow on here, and I used the gloss varnish paint from Games Workshop to give it a bit of a shine, which works really well in my opinion. Then obviously we have the minions, which is Sorrows. So I did these exactly the same as I did the Poltergeist, but instead of the white highlight I just left the Nurgling green looking colour. So I did a lighter green on the like Spirit Flame, and I've still yet got to put some of the clump foliage on here, like on the edges for the moss-like effect. So I've done the basics with the Bluff of the Blood Guard. I've still yet to put some Nurgle's Rot on here as well, to make it look nice and decent. Then if we go to Teddy, which is this guy here, everyone loves a Teddy, don't they? So obviously this guy is still under construction as well, in the steps of painting. So I went for obviously your normal brown bear looking colour, then basically as though he's just at someone, so to speak. So a lot of Bluff of the Blood God was used, because you've got a lot of blood. So obviously that's used around his mouth, on his claws, and his palms. Then a bit like dripping down, nice bloody looking tongue. Then went for red eyes, but I'm still debating whether I want to keep them or not. I've still got yet to do a certain amount of things to this, so there's more highlighting involved. Obviously you need to do the claws, the stitches, then obviously the base. Now with Teddy's base, I didn't want to put the sort of banisters on him, so I wanted him as though he was standing on his own on top of like a hill or something. It's sort of what I've done with Baby Cade as well, which works really well with Teddy. So I've used one banner on this guy, but for the way I've laid them up, the bases, they go together. So they're sort of like interlocking bases, which I really wanted. And obviously a tiny little baby against a giant Teddy is a little bit intimidating, I do believe. So yeah, Teddy's nearly finished. It's just the base that needs doing on him and a couple of highlights. And practically it's the same with Baby Cade as well. Just a couple bit more bits on the bases. Got to do is like little dagger. A baby with a dagger. Come on, whose parents let someone do that? Obviously, normal baby looking skin. Diaper. Blood as though it's just cut someone with a knife. The Nickel Oxide, because that works really well with the bases. It's like it's indenting like a certain amount of, I don't know what you'd call it, to be honest. And just the Rise of Rust works really well as well if you mix it with a lightish green, so it gives it a darkish brownish orange type colour. And you just dry brush that on, which gives it its sort of glowish effect. So that works really well. See if I can find you a better example. So yeah, here on the Poltergeist you've got this bit here. So basically the way that was done was Deathward Forest. Then while it's still got, large dry brushed on, then while it was still wet on the brush, so to speak, got the Rise of Rust, mixed it in, and then, but this time made sure it was dry so it wasn't as wet with the paint, and just did the exact same on there, and this is basically how it's turned out. So it's turned out really well. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Really appreciate it, and we'll have more updates on the channel soon. Subscribe and goodbye.